Hey there, welcome back to my channel. This week I've got a surprise in store for you. If you like all things Dollar Tree and Buffalo Check, wow. We've got 3 brand new projects where I take a little bit of things that you probably already have at home and transform them into really pretty, almost like a farmhouse decor. So I can't wait, sit back and enjoy.
To get started for this DIY, we're going to stop at the local Dollar Tree and go on a treasure hunt. We are looking for vinyl, in specifically this Buffalo Check vinyl. Sometimes you'll have to check several stores to find it, but once you do, boom, it's the holy grail. I'm so excited to show you. So I'm going to take a tomato can, just any huge soup can or tomato can will do fine, but I'm going to peel the label off and we're going to make a really cute planter out of it. So once you get the label peeled off, you're going to grab the vinyl in the Buffalo Check, or if you prefer, they do have a really pretty navy floral as well. Or of course, you can use any color pattern you desire. So as usual, I do not measure anything. I am just eyeballing it, and it looks like this is about where I'm going to need to start cutting. And I'm just going to kind of cut in a straight-ish line. It does not have to be perfect. Again, this is DIY. So keeping in the spirit of DIY, I cut myself a length that I felt like was right. No measurements, no math here. I like to keep my DIYs really simple, and I just made sure to eyeball about how long the strip would need to be to wrap around my can at least one time. So once I get this all cut out, we are going to make it transform into the most adorable little planter you've ever seen. So I'm going to take this and again double check that it's going to fit around my can, and once I have that pretty much eyeballed, I'm going to peel off the backing of this vinyl. Now the trick is to take your time. This process is not just as simple as it seems. You're going to start with just revealing the small portion of the vinyl at a time, like I'm showing you here. Now I wanted to make sure that it lined up around the base of my can, because I knew I could count on the base of my can to remain consistent around the entire circumference. So you'll see me here kind of taking it off and on a couple different times. I was just really picky about how it stuck on here, but you're going to smooth it out as you go using your thumbs to make sure to get any wrinkles or bubbles out. And again, if you have any trouble, the great thing about this vinyl is it is peel and stick, so you can take it off and put it back on as many times as you desire or need to kind of make your project your own. Now, I repeated this all the way around the entire can until I had, voila, the entire can covered. Now, when I got here to the seam, I decided I wanted it to be a little more matchy-matchy, so I took my scissors and I cut off the part that didn't match up until it matched up. Now, the next step, this is what makes it super duper adorable, is we are going to take some thrifted corks. So you can grab these a bag of corks at pretty much any thrift store. And I just kind of had fun going through them and picking a few that matched up and were the same brands, maybe the same coloring, the length. You can mix and match it. Again, it's your project. And I just grabbed these 3 corks. Now, I decided to cut the corks in half because the full-length cork was a little too long for feet on this planter for my taste. And that way, I only ended up using 2 corks at the end of the day. I cut them in half using this straight-edge X-Acto knife from the Dollar Tree, and then I kind of trimmed up the edges and the bottoms to make sure that they would be setting really flush with the counter when the planter was done. And then, of course, it gets really easy from here. You're just going to take your glue gun and you're going to hot glue these 4 little cork feet to the bottom of your can. Super simple and fun to do. And just, make sure that it's where you want the feet to go. I just eyeballed mine. Again, if you want to measure, you can. I just kind of went with it. I was I had to adjust one of them at one point, but at the end, they turned out really, really cute. Now, to make this up one level, I grabbed this buffalo check and burlap ribbon that I had ordered online. I will link it below. And I made one of my little zip tie bows. This little bow is so handy and so easy to make. And once I had the zip tie tight, I cut off the back and I did the dovetail, the mermaid tail to my ribbon here on the ends, just to kind of make them look even cuter. And then I added it with the hot glue gun. Just a little dab will do ya, but just grab the hot glue gun and add your bow to your planter. This is turning out so cute. What do you think so far? Let me know in the comments below. And then I decided, as usual, I cannot leave it alone without adding a little bit of my signature bling. I will link my bling below in the comments, in the description as well. But this project, I think, went up again another level with the addition of the bling. Now, I have a little stash and I dug through it till I found the piece that I thought would be perfect for this and just added it to the bow center with just a little dot of hot glue. Look at this. This is so adorable. How about it? Will you make one of these? This is how it turned out. I added a little sprig of faux boxwood to the inside of the planter just to kind of make it pop. This is now on a tiered tray. This is just a tiered tray I had put together really quickly with just this cute planter in it, and I think it is adorbs. The second project, you're going to want to grab some of these popcorn plastic containers from the Dollar Tree. They come two to a pack, which is super convenient. We're going to spray them with the Kills Original Spray Paint. Now, I went with spray paint for this project because I thought it would be a little faster and a little bit simpler than using chalk paint, but you can certainly chalk paint these as well. It did take 2 super thin layers of spray, and then I sprayed a little bit on the insides as well, just to make sure I had full coverage. Then I grabbed this bunny sign from Dollar Tree that I've had for a little while and ended up not using it during the holiday. So I took the little jute twine out of the top of it, and we're going to grab that vinyl from the Dollar Tree again. Do you see a theme going on here? It was the perfect strip left over after the can, and I just kind of sized it up again, eyeballing it to the sign and cutting it to fit. Once I had the whole thing cut to fit, I just peeled the back off like we did before and stuck it to my sign. Again, this project was so easy, and I love getting to use the repeat pattern on this project as well as the little planter can. Now, when you are actually going to peel and stick this vinyl to your sign, you again aren't just going to want to take the entire backing off of the vinyl. You want to actually take your time and peel a little bit of the backing off at a time so that you don't just make a big sticky mess. Ask me how I know this. Anyway, so here we go. We are going to start the peel and stick process here. Just find your corner, peel it back, and again, just take the first little section here, and I'm going to kind of show you, and I'm going to cover up that bunny hole. You'll never know that bunny hole was there, and it's just a really easy way to repurpose this Easter sign into just an everyday kind of farmhouse sign. We're going to actually make it into a planter piece, another planter. I know it's again with the theme, but I think this is just the perfect little base to start with. What do you think? Now, to trim it off, I take that X-Acto knife again from the Dollar Tree and just kind of made a simple straight line down any of the vinyl that was sticking over so that we had a clean edge to start with and a really pretty finish for this project. Now I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to go back to our popcorn tins and get started on adding those to our, I guess it's a vertical planter. That's what we're going to call it, a vertical planter. And so I just kind of eyeballed them, but again, you can get out your ruler. I do actually ultimately do get out my ruler. I'm going to repeat with the same ribbon that I used on the soup can or vegetable can planter and wrap it around these little popcorn things. And you can see I didn't paint the back of the popcorn bucket. You never know when you want to repurpose a project. So that is kind of the name of my game. I always make my DIYs very loosely in case I decide that I want to repurpose my supplies. And I do that a lot, you guys. I do that a lot. So I'm adding, again, the ribbon around the popcorn container here just to kind of make it finished and pretty, a pretty look. And ultimately, I decided, like I said, to measure with the ruler. And again, the ruler is also from the Dollar Tree. I believe it ended up being about 4.5 or 5.5 inches down. But really, if you just have the two popcorn containers, you can do the math on your piece of wood and figure out what works for you. And so once I glued it to our buffalo check, I added the little piece of signature bling to the center of the ribbon. Again, just trying to give it like a really tailored finished look. And I just secured the sides of the ribbon with a little more hot glue. And then I repeated this entire process for the bottom popcorn planter bucket. I don't know what to call it. Popcorn bucket planter. And so this was really, really fun, really, really easy to do. And I would highly recommend making one of these for yourself because, again, it was just a couple dollars in materials and it turns out so stinking cute and so functional because you can totally use this to plant live plants in as well if you decided to. So again, putting on the signature bling, and there you have it. There is our vertical planter made from the popcorn tins. I decided to add a little bit of the green foam. Again, you can grab this at the Dollar Tree. And I cut it with the cellophane on and then took the cellophane off afterwards. I'm stuffing this lamb's ear into the foam as well as a little bit of cotton, and this is how it turned out. Don't you love this look? It is so adorable. Now, I am going to do this third project with this galvanized little pie tin that I found in the Crafter Square section at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to do the same technique with the keels. This is just one of their glass candlesticks. You guys have seen these probably a million times over, but I'm just adding a little light coat of the white keels over both of these pieces. And once they are painted, I am going to start the project. So I'm going to trace around the pie tin with a black Sharpie and then cut out the circle of, you guessed it, the buffalo check vinyl. And so I am going to just cut the circle out. I'm not being super picky about the shape because we are going to trim it after it is in place, but just kind of getting the basic shape down and then peeling again the vinyl a little bit at a time and then adding it, pressing it down with my fingers as it releases from the backing. And it's kind of a good tip is to start in the center and then work your way out to the sides. I'm going to take again that Dollar Tree edge trimmer and just trim the edges of this vinyl where it hangs over inside the circle. And then I'm going to peel it off. So satisfying. Isn't that fun to watch? So after you do that, it's so simple from here. You are simply going to take a little bit of E6000 along with that perfect combination of hot glue. So you just add a thin little layer of E6000 to the top of your candlestick, put a little bit of hot glue on to give it that initial where it will adhere right away. And then you're going to add it to your pie tin. Now, to back up, you might be asking about those little holes that I left behind. That is fine. They will always be covered the way I'm going to use this. Now, I created one of my little zip tie bows in the buffalo check ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It's so stinking cute. I'm going to add it with a dot of hot glue. I thought it'd be really cute here at the base of this little pedestal. And then a signature bling, of course, to the center of the bow, just to kind of finish it out and give it my signature look. And then I added this just with a simple flower on top, or or add some farmhouse beads, and I'll link the tutorial below. With a fun candle, this turned out so adorable.
Well, what did you think? Are there a few things that maybe inspired you to get some creating going on? Did you love the tomato can little planter? Oh my goodness, I thought it was so stinking cute. Listen, let me know in the comments below which project was your favorite and what you'd like to see more of here on my channel, because remember, we are building this community together. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell for future notifications.